involved in obviously the flight of 1E, where his principal contribution will be to inside the Columbus, getting that set up and getting ready for the start of commissioning. And his primary role in the stage of 1E will be for commissioning as well of Columbus. But he has other station system tasks that he has to perform, just as any increment astronaut has. He's been trained to support certain activities of ATV, but he's not trained for the docking part of it. But he's certainly been trained for the offloading part. He's also got some fairly significant public affairs activities to perform as well, which takes back to what I was talking about earlier with the thing that the astronauts can do for our youth and that sort of thing. So he's going to be busy, but his major function is associated with Columbus. Yeah.
So who among the crew is responsible for ATV activities?
Well, Yuri is the prime controller, Peggy is the backup. So Yuri is trained as specialist, Peggy's is trained as operator. So they'll do the work the crew has to do to support docking day 1, docking day 2, rendezvous, and actual docking. That's their responsibility. All of the crew then have been trained to do ATV operations, if you will, docked operations. And so that's the access and offloading and hooking up the computers and things like that.
Thank you. At the very beginning, you mentioned, you mentioned this and went on that there could be some basis here for a human spacecraft. Is that something you could elaborate on a little bit on what you meant by that? The ATV graduating into something like that at some point?
Yeah, we've looked in the past, and we're going to look in the future at European participation in human space transportation. In the context of the exploration program, it's something that you need to be capable of to be taken seriously in such a venture. The ATV, as such, is not a man-rated vehicle, and it's not just a matter of taking off the cargo carrier and sticking a capsule on top of it and saying, look here, we've got a human transporter. But the technologies that have gone into ATV, the navigation activities, the rendezvous activities, the operational activities, and especially as far as the ground segment is concerned, are building blocks towards the kind of technologies that are necessary for human transportation. What we're looking at is a number of different things in Europe. We're looking with the Russians on the evolution program of Soyuz and beyond Soyuz, and that's something that we started to look at with them over the last year or two. In parallel, we're also looking at is there a way in which we can do a simple human transporter in Europe, sat on top of an Ariane 5, going back to the Apollo type of capsule. And for something like that, of course, ATV would be the intermediate stage that would take you to where you want to go. But part of the studies that we're doing, as well as for the transporter itself, is working out where you want to transport to. We're not going to be transporting to the station, at least in the next 2 decades. If the station is still going on in the 20s, which would be very nice indeed, maybe we'll have got something by then. But fundamentally, to do transportation, you need to know where you're transporting to, and we're looking more at the idea of lunar transportation rather than low Earth orbit for that.
Okay, that's it for the questions. A couple of notes before we close. You can follow all of these complex spaceflight operations on several websites. The NASA website, of course, is www.nasa.gov, and ESA's website, with a lot of information regarding the automated transfer vehicle, can be found at www.esa.int. The countdown for Atlantis' launch on the STS-122-1E mission to deliver the Columbus module to the complex is scheduled to begin Monday afternoon. Our mission television schedule will be issued to the NASA website tomorrow afternoon. With that, we'll call it a briefing. Thanks very much. Thanks to our briefers.